I carry a 360 camera on every serious hike I do, and I've bought the last couple I owned myself. So when Insta360 reached out to send me their new X6 camera, I already knew what I was looking at, and the size alone of this new version stopped me in my tracks. I took it to New Zealand, walked all day, and barely touched it. The footage runs throughout this video so that you can judge it for yourself. And a quick one before we start, Insta360 sponsored this video and sent me the new X6 plus the mics that I'm recording on right now. So thanks to Insta360 for supporting the channel. Why I carry multiple cameras. Now, firstly, a quick bit of background because it explains why I agreed to test this camera in the first place. I've been taking a video camera of some sort hiking for decades. It's just something that I've always loved, going right back to sharing trip videos with my family in the early 2000s. Filming, editing and burning DVDs for friends and mates who couldn't come. I've pretty much always been the one who turns up with a camera and puts something together for everyone else to remember the trip by. And I've always just loved cameras as well. These days that means carrying normally at least, at a bare minimum, 2 cameras on the big trips, a little action cam that lives in my hip belt pocket on my backpack, and a 360 camera up on a pole, as well as a digital SLR and my phone. Now, I've bought 2 generations of Insta360's 360 cameras before, and their Ace Pro 2 action cam with my own money. But the real reason I'm a big fan of the 360 is because of drones. Pretty much most places I hike, drones are not allowed. So a 360 camera up on a long pole is the closest I can get to that floating sort of aerial look at the country with the pole wiped clean out of the shot by the software. Now, a lot of my shooting when I'm out on the track is pretty straightforward. I'll stop, I'll get whoever I'm walking with to come towards me, then I'll turn and I'll sort of catch them walking away. Then I'll put the camera up above me as well and on the pole to get sort of overhead stuff and the odd sort of time lapse as well. Now with a normal camera, that's 2 or 3 separate looks. The X6, however, that sees in every direction all at once. So I get them coming and going in the one shot and the aerial angle's right there on the same pole too. Now that's the bit that actually changed how I shoot. Now, the X6 turns up claiming it can do more again. It can do the action cam's job as well as the 360s, and it can even do the editing of the video afterwards. So the question for me wasn't whether it could shoot a nice 360, it's whether it could cover the jobs my other gear does too. So here's the kit and here's how it actually went. The kit and how I actually used it. Now, I didn't run some strict experiment out there. I just took it walking and used it the way I'd use any other camera. I'd pull it out when something's worth filming, hit record in 360 mode, hold it up on the stick that came with it, and check the framing every now and then with the little remote that came with it too. The trick is what 360 mode actually means. It's got a lens on each side and they see everything around you in every direction all at once, and you choose the actual shot later within the app. Insta360 call this shoot now, frame later. They've also put their biggest sensors yet into this camera. It's got a 1/1.1 inch sensor behind each lens on the camera, so it pulls more light than any 360 camera they've ever made before, which for a 360 camera is genuinely huge. It just means cleaner footage when the light drops, and every bit of footage you're looking at on screen that you're watching now came off this camera, so judge that side for yourself as we go. Now, it does more than 362, and I'll show you the other 2 modes on the screen. So you can flip to another mode, and one tap flips it to something called InstaFrame 2.0, which locks onto you and tracks you around smooth as a gimbal without carrying a gimbal. And it puts out normal flat video ready to send. Now, I didn't pay much attention to this feature at first, and I didn't even know about it when I was in New Zealand, but I started playing around with it after that New Zealand trip a lot. And it's just awesome. Like, it tracks your face, and you can quickly and easily get it to track you, so you could put it on the ground and get it to do a tracking shot as well. And that tracking thing is something I'm going to be using all the time now. It's just really awesome the way it follows you around and adjusts the shot. It's crazy. I haven't used something like that before. Then another tap and it's in single lens mode. So it's like a normal wide action camera, which matters. Because if this thing is going to replace my much loved action cam, it has to cover that job too. And then you've got the audio. So these little wireless mics that they sent me too pair straight to the camera over Bluetooth. So you don't need to use the receiver box that it has like you would with my mirrorless camera, which you're watching me on now. And look, I'd never taken a proper mic hiking much before, really. And everything you're hearing on this video right now is coming through this mic. So that's the whole kit. One camera, a little selfie stick, and the mic. So here's how the sort of 6-hour hike in New Zealand actually went with the camera. The Hogs Back day. So the walk I did was called the Hogs Back track in New Zealand, and we were out for about 6 hours that day. And here's the honest bit about that. I had my phone in my pocket all day and my action cam in my hip belt as always, and they barely came out. I took one little video on this thing the whole day. That just didn't come out. I just kept reaching for this instead because the remote that's on this handle here makes it a one-handed operation from the end of the pole. So you can have it out like that, you can have it on, you can turn it on, you can turn it off, you can change it to take a photo, you can change it to record a video. You do it all from this little remote. So I'm doing all that without touching the actual camera itself. And it was actually weird at one point when I did go to use the camera itself, I thought, oh, that's much easier just when I use the remote. And that's the thing that changed how the day felt. Now, part of that is the size, and it's more of a difference than I expected. Now, the X4, which I still own, and the X5, which I used to own, were longer units. They would sit sort of on the pole with the camera at the end like this, with nowhere to easily sort of stash them. So you end up just holding the thing the whole time that you're walking. Whereas this one folds in on itself. It's shorter, it's a bit thicker, and it disappears into the pocket on your pants or the side pocket of your pack and comes out one-handed without breaking your stride, which I really liked. Now, a couple of numbers because I know you will ask. I was walking for 6 hours and I was shooting on and off, and I got home with about 43% of the battery left with this thing. And the spare that comes in this little charging case too, which is pretty cool, that never came out of the pack. And one small save that mattered more than it should have, but my memory cards went missing somewhere between home and New Zealand. Long story, but I didn't have my memory card. But the great thing is that this camera's got 47 gigabytes of internal storage built in, and I was filming on this before I'd even realized, hang on, I haven't put a memory card in this yet. And that's something I wish every camera had. It's just awesome having some internal storage. So the filming half of the claim, well, that gets a big tick. And if I'm honest, that's probably the easier half. The bigger claim is what's meant to happen after you get home. The edit that makes itself. Now, to be honest, how much of your trip footage ever gets watched again? The filming happens, but the editing never does. And it all just sits there. And between you and me, I've got so many hiking films in the editing suite that I'm still working on. The editing side, well, that's the half I really wanted to test for this thing because hopefully it could save me some time. Now, I already knew part of the answer from the app itself. There's a quick edit trick in there where you pick the clips and it pulls a little video together on its own and it chooses the angles out of that 360 sphere, out of that 360 sphere itself, which is the clever bit. And I've used it on the couple of walks I've done to send a couple of minutes of the day to my wife and kids, and honestly, it's changed what makes it home from my trips. I've actually got a little bit of a video, whereas before it would have sat in the editing suite on my computer for ages. But the headline claim is bigger than that. They say you can plug the camera in to charge at night, touch nothing, and while it charges, it goes through the whole day's footage, picks the moments it thinks matter, and cuts a finished video all on its own. So the next day your phone pings and the video's waiting. So that's exactly what I did after the Hogs Back. Camera on charge, phone on the bedside table, and I haven't had a look. And that's what it's made. It's made this awesome video. I didn't touch a second of the edit. You've just seen the same footage I did. So let's see what it made.
Storms on the roof, secrets whispered, bulletproof. We build worlds out of steel. Now they're ruins of something we feel. It's so nice to get away, if just for a moment, if just for a day. We can drive past the signs, over the borders of our mind. 'Cause
So we're not going to watch the whole video, but that's what it's made. I didn't touch a second of the edit, and you've just seen the same sort of footage I did, so make of it what you will. The catch and where I've landed. Okay, so the warning I promised you at the start, because there had to be one, and it's the remote right here. The thing that makes this whole hands-off setup work sits in the handle of the stick with a little magnet, just like that. That's it, no leash, no clip, and I guess they figure the magnet's enough, but I know myself, and I reckon I could lose this thing without even trying. 10 days into a Tasmanian trip with the remote sitting in the mud somewhere behind me, not realising until I get to camp that night. So if you get one, decide where the remote lives and be religious about it and always be looking after it. That's the catch, and it's the only real one that I've found in the month or so that I've had this camera. Now, everything else has gone the other way. It weighs 196 grams with the battery in it, the camera itself, which is insanely light for what it's doing, this thing, like 196 grams. The whole kit as I carry it, camera with this folding stick, with the remote, with that lens cover there as well, is about 419 grams. So if you're counting grams, there is a simpler stick, this one here, that gets the combo down to around 320 grams with that little remote still on there. It's longer and it doesn't fold up like the other one, but on an ultralight trip, I'd probably go with that maybe, although I love this too much, I think I'd probably still take that. And the lens, well, they screw off as well and can be replaced. So they're tough enough to handle the track. And if you do manage to wreck one, which I'm sure I will, you're not throwing away the whole camera, for which for someone who has smashed and lost more cameras than I want to admit, this is the way every one of these should be built moving forward. And look, I'm tough on my gear. I've said that before. Even with this camera, I have just had it sitting by my side with no cover on a lot of the time, and it's holding up really well. But knowing I can replace the lens, well, that is a very nice feature and a good safety net to have. So who's this thing for? Well, if you get home from great walks with 3 photos and a shaky video of your boots, then this fixes your actual problem, because pressing record once is the whole job. And well, if your footage piles up unwatched because the editing never happens, an edit that actually exists beats the perfect one that you never get around to making. It hasn't done a big multi-day in the wild country yet. That test is coming, and you'll be seeing this camera's footage in my trip videos either way, so if it falls in a heap down the track, you're going to hear about it. The camera and the mics are linked down below if you want a proper look, and I'm curious, do you carry a camera on your walks, or has the phone taken over completely? Tell me down below, I'd love to hear. But whatever you film with, a camera, well, that's just one bit of the tech that has to earn its spot in your pack. And that's not the bit that will get you out of trouble. There are 5 pieces of tech that come on just about every hike with me, and a couple of them have saved my bacon more than once. So go and check out this video up here next to see the kit that I'd never leave behind. See you in there.